All right, hey guys, welcome back to the range with me, doing some drills today. I got a couple hours to myself just to do some practice for me. So I thought I'd do a little segment here on Day at the Range with Jay. So I'm gonna go through kind of what I go through in a few hours of my drill time. Basically what I'm gonna do first, guys, is a cold drill. Okay, that's how I like to start off my days at the range. And basically what that means is I haven't fired a shot yet. And it's kind of simulating me just kind of walking around, doing my thing out in the real world there, and bang, something happens and I have to react, right? There's no warm-up time there, right? So you can really base your skill level off of your cold starts, okay? So I always start my drills or my training days off with a cold start, okay? Just to kind of see where I am and go from there, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna load up some magazines and we're gonna do a cold start. At my skill level here, I like to set up a few targets there so that I can incorporate a couple things into my cold start, all right? First, my draw, obviously, right? Identify target, draw, and you can see over my right shoulder here, I have two targets together so that I can add some target transitions, some close target transitions. And then I have one set over here that I'll have to make a big movement to get a shot off, right? So some close transitions, a large movement for a far transition, and then I'll always simulate moving to cover, getting off of that X, okay? Doing attack reload, and then being ready for something else. And that kind of ends my drill there. All right, guys, let's take a look. All right, guys, so this is gonna be the cold start drill. Basically, I'm gonna be about 7 yards away with two assailants here. So a fast, short transition here, and then I'm gonna move to a long transition, put a couple shots there, move to cover, attack, reload. All right, guys, see how this goes. All right, guys, that was not bad. Let's go take a look at my shots. So off the rip here, one A zone here. My first shot was A zone, one just out of the A zone in the C. Two A zones over here. Let's see what our long transition here is. So two A shots here. It's good stuff, guys. You can see there's a lot incorporated in this cold start, which is nice. A little movement, attack, reload, target transitions, short and long. And what's nice about doing the long one is throttle control, right? So when you're up close to a couple targets here, you're allowed to go a little bit quicker because you're closer, right? But when you transition to a target that's a little bit further away, you have to control that throttle and how fast you're letting your shots off so that you can make sure you're landing your shots, all right? That's first thing I do when I come to the range, cold start drill. Again, figure out your skill level, design a little cold start drill for you, or contact us. I'll let you know what I think is best for you. All right, guys, let's move on. All right, guys, for the this next set of drills that we're gonna do, I'm gonna work on something that I don't work on often, and that's just because I usually work on my concealed carry because I concealed carry every day. So today I'm going to be utilizing part of my kit here and practicing drawing from the holster from my side leg, my drop leg here. And with doing that, I'm going to be incorporating a bunch of movement. This is like a workout and shooting drill. You're going to see that I'm going to be utilizing a bunch of different shooting positions. Almost like doing a burpee, basically a backwards burpee, and then moving back up and then moving to another target. And I'm gonna do that in 3 stations. So you're gonna see me spread out my targets back here, 2 off to the far ends and 1 right in the middle. I'm gonna start off on one end. I'm gonna go ahead and do that drill where I'm gonna start off standing, kneeling, on my back, off to one side, back to the other side, and then kneeling and then standing again, and then moving to the next one, and then doing that same drill again, and for 3 sets basically. So it's a nice drill, gets your heart rate up, and it incorporates a lot of movement, a lot of different positions, shooting wise, and a lot of control, trigger finger control, so you're not flagging yourself or anybody else when you're moving in and out of these positions. All right, it's a pretty cool drill, guys. Definitely gets your heart pumping, and it's pretty fun. All right, let's check it out. All right, guys, here we go. All right, guys, that last shot went off at 50.52. So that whole drill in under a minute. I'd like to say that about 45 seconds. If you're running magazine changes in between stations, maybe about 40-45 seconds. If you're doing them as a surprise for yourself, I'd say about 45 to 50 seconds. This is a pretty good drill. I run a couple extra shots in each position, so I do a total of 7 shots, right, at each position with a surprise magazine change in there. So if you're running this drill 5 shots at each station, which is basically standing, kneeling, either laying right, left, or supine. You pick one, basically, and then back up. So 5 shots at each position. You should be able to run this drill in about 30 seconds. All right, it's a good drill. Let's reset and do it again. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and run this drill again. See how we do. So it's a 48.4. I got a little lazy on that one, guys. Started shooting one-handed on my way up from the ground. I mean, whatever. It's not that you can't do it. I had my sights good and aligned. As you can, I don't know if you can see, but I'd say the majority of my shots, probably about 98% of them are all A zone. I have a few that are just outside of the A's in the C zone. And I'm totally happy with that, honestly, guys, with all this movement. Yeah, those are good shots. Shots are on target. I'm not missing my target. And yeah, working that pumper. All right, guys. All right, guys, just a few things to consider safety-wise when you're doing a drill like this. Number one, consider where you're placing your targets and where that berm is. Okay, remember you're shooting from a low advantage point, which means your rounds are going to be traveling upwards at your target. So either shorten your targets or just make sure they're close enough to the berm to where your rounds are actually going to be hitting the berm. Okay, and then super important here, do not flag yourself. Okay, all right, guys. You guys might be saying to yourself right now, Jay, what the hell do I need to be doing all that stuff for at the day at my, my day at the range, whatever. Well, first of all, I tell you guys constantly to have a purpose when you come to the range, okay? Every single time I come out to the range, I have a plan and I practice for real world scenarios. That's it, that's all I do. I don't ever come out to the range and just throw rounds at a target without having some type of purpose. I think that's a waste, and with the way ammo is nowadays and all that stuff, it's a total waste, right? So I always have something that I'm going to work on when I come to the range, right? If I don't have a plan to come to the range, then I'm just going to stay home and dry fire. Simple as that. But anyway, let's talk about some of these positions that I'm doing here. Let's take the falling back onto my back and shooting upwards in between my legs, for example. Super feasible, okay, that you may end up on your back in a real world scenario, okay? Fights happen super close and they come out of nowhere and you're gonna be caught off guard and your flinch reflex is gonna happen usually, okay? And there may be something behind you or you just may be caught so off guard where you end up going backwards, all right? Instead of trying to fumble and regain your stance, go with the flow, end up on your back, draw your weapon, and do what you need to do from your back, okay? And then get off that X as fast as you can. What about the right lateral and left lateral positions, right? Well, let's say, for example, you get into some kind of situation in or around a vehicle, for example, right? You can use those right lateral and left lateral positions to take cover behind your car and still be able to shoot from underneath or from around the slight corners that you have, okay, around your car, all right? Those are just all positions. The scenarios are endless, guys, right? Endless. Just think of something, watch some YouTube videos, whatever, and practice that. What would you do in that scenario, and how can I incorporate those things into my day at the range, okay? This is how I do it. This is how I incorporate all these things into a day at the range with Jay. All right, guys. Super important that you practice all this stuff. All right, but again, you got to know where your skill level is and start, small and build up from there. All right, guys. I've been shooting for a long time, and I didn't start doing all this stuff right off the bat. Not the case. Okay. A lot of discipline, a lot of trigger discipline, trigger finger discipline, and a lot of discipline with your muzzle and where that thing is pointed in regards to yourself, others, the berm, all those things, right? Make sure you have all of that in line and that you are very, very confident with your skills to start doing things like this. But if you are, I would encourage you to move to the next level and start doing these kinds of drills, all right? Awesome stuff. Pretty soon, guys, I'm going to be listing some of the drills that I do with some targets that we're going to design, and we're going to throw them up on the website that you guys will be able to download along with those drills, and you guys will be able to send in your pictures and times or whatever, and we'll post them on our site, and you guys can compete with each other, all right? All right, guys, so we're going to change up this drill just a little bit to finish off my pistol portion of my range day. And as you can see behind me, I laid one of my targets down to simulate they're in a lateral position, and then I push the other one a little bit further back. So I'm going to run the same drill just in the center position, but when I get down to my lateral positions, I'm actually going to do a target transition, throw two on those targets, and then come back center and move on from there. All right, let's check it out. I guess rock and roll. See how this goes. Again, from about 7 yards from center here, and then I'm going to target transition. What's nice is this, somebody left their target here, which is whatever. I'd clean up after yourself. If you're gonna go to the range, guys, clean up after yourself. Anyway, I'm gonna utilize this as like a little barrier between me and my target and kind of have to try to shoot around that, all right? So this thing ended up being way more in my way than I thought it was going to be. So I actually had to adjust, and the only way I was able to get around it was to shoot that one-handed. But landed both of my shots over there in the A zone, all of my shots in the A zone on the center target, and 2 shots in the A zone in our lateral target over here. Pretty cool drill. I did that in 1872. All right, so let's try it again. All right, guys, that one was 1406. I adjusted myself slightly over here so I was able to actually sneak around this target here, which was actually pretty nice to have something in front of you partially covering that target. Again, landed all my rounds, guys. A zone, 1406. It's good stuff, guys. Any time you do this and you stepping out of the box for any of these drills that you're doing, you're building great skills, okay? At the end of the day, what you want is to be able to utilize your firearm in a self-defense instance and be able to do that in any position, okay? Because you don't actually know how you're going to end up, okay? The fundamentals are important, guys, but the fundamentals are important to the point where you know where to begin, okay? So that once you get those down pat, like they're second nature, no matter what, you can start utilizing different positions based off of your fundamentals to be able to hit what you need to hit, okay, in any position, all right? I'd say grip, guys, grip and aiming, right? That doesn't change. Sometimes you might go one-handed versus two-handed because you can't get that grip like I had to over here the first time, but my master grip never changed, okay? My grip in any of these positions not changing, which is allowing me to find my target, find my sights, and put rounds on target. Make sure I got a full magazine here. We're gonna run this drill again, because why not, right, guys? 3 is good. right, guys, that was a 14.64. Notice, guys, too, that I'm always adding in there a tack reload. That should be second nature, okay? You have threats, you handled your threats, tack reload, right? Here, it's kind of hard to simulate getting off the X. I guess I can move, but in the back of your mind, you want to be able to threat off the X as fast as possible, tack reload, okay? Here, I'm doing that, right? Handling my threats, doing a quick scan, tack reload while I'm scanning, hopefully behind cover, okay, guys? I don't have cover here currently, but behind cover, and then you're scanning again, right? You never know when it's gonna be over, and you wanna be ready all the time, all right, guys? So make sure you incorporate those steps too. When you're done handling your threat, tack reload, make sure you're full up, okay? Behind cover, get off that X, all right, guys? And make sure you're prepared in case there's more, whatever, all right? Be ready, train smart. Let's go hit the rifle range. All right, guys, last segment of today is gonna be some rifle stuff. I like to end my day with a little bit of 5.56 happiness. It's been a long day so far, but loving the weather, enjoying this time out, enjoying my training here. So anyway, there's some water. It's warm out. You guys can see back there, right over here. Yeah, okay. So I have two targets out here at 25 yards, and then I have a third one that's further out. That's about 33-ish yards, a little bit further. So what I'm gonna be practicing today is target transition with the rifle and throttle control, right? So at 25 yards, I'm gonna come out of a ready position. I don't know which one I'm gonna do, whichever one I feel like at the moment. I'm gonna come out of a ready position. I'm gonna throw a couple rounds at the 25 yards. Those rounds should be able to be a little bit quicker, right? Because they're closer. And then I'm gonna have to throttle down a little bit when I transition over to the one that's further out to make sure that I'm landing shots there, okay? So we got some new targets on there on the target stands, and I'm gonna take a couple more swigs of water, and then we're gonna do some target transitions. All right, eyes and ears, eyes and ears. All right, let's do this. The only problem with 5.56 is you can't see your little holes that you made, you know, because of the 50 caliber that the 5.56 uses makes a really small hole in the targets. Damn politicians. Anyway, I'm gonna go take a look at what we got down there. I can see my first two targets here are definitely A-zone shots. I can't see what I did in the third. So I'm just gonna go take a quick little walk down there and see how I did. All right, guys, so that was a 4.12. Let me let my camera catch up here and refocus. So that was a 4.12, 3 targets, 2 shot on each target at 25 yards and then at 33-ish yards out of a ready position, okay? 4.12. I have A-zone in the first target all the way to the left, A-zone in the second target, and then I had 1 A-zone and 1 shot to the throat, basically. And honestly, I'm cool with that. All right, guys, let's do it again. All right, guys, first shot off the high ready was a .73, and the last shot was a 3.31. Not bad. I know for a fact that I was a little bit off on my further target because I dialed up the speed a little bit, obviously. So I know that my first shot was A zone. I could see that from here, but I knew that I was probably either in the high Z. I hit a shoulder, it looks like, back there in that last shot there. All right, but my first 2 shots here, definitely A zone. All right, let's do from a low ready. All right, guys, from the low ready, first shot was 0.98, and the whole drill was 2.79. I only did 5 shots this time, so I had left. So 1 shot went long, and I know I hit that shot this time around. That's gonna wrap it up for me today at the range. That's a day at the range with Jay. If you guys are interested in hanging out and you wanna come do a day with me at the range, let me know. Go ahead and leave that in the comments down below, or hit us up on our social media or on our website, wherever you guys need to. I'm gonna post this as like a whole thing, a whole video. So there you have it. Day at the range with Jay. A lot of fun. If you guys are interested in doing it, I hope you guys are ready to sweat. Don't wear clothes that you are fans of, because we're gonna get dirty, and we're definitely gonna test those skills. All right. If you guys are looking for any classes, we got permit classes coming up. We also have a couple other classes that we're going to be doing: concealed carry, when to draw, and some home defense courses, and some other really cool classes too, like one-man room clearing, things like that. If you guys are looking for any of that stuff, check out our website at www.fromtheashwerise.com. All of our classes are listed on there with dates and whatnot. If you guys are looking for gear, you guys can support us by buying our gear. We also have plate carriers and body armor as well. The body armor, guys, best body armor on the market. The PA plates, the Duridium PA plates that we have up on our website are the fastest plates on the market right now. Multi-hit capable. They're about 2.7 pounds for a 10 by 12 plate, okay? They float, and they have a 15-year warranty on them from the manufacturer. Guys, you can't beat that. That is unheard of in this market. Normally they're about 5 years, okay? So the lightest, fastest, multi-hit capable, okay? I've seen these things take a beating round after round after round, all right? And with no penetration. So check them out. They're available on our website. Again, www.fromtheashwerise.com. I'll leave a link down below for you. Check it out. We'll see you guys next time. Be ready, train smart.